The landline is quickly becoming a thing of the past, with nearly half of U.S. households now without one, favoring the convenience of wireless phones, according to the National Center of Health Statistics. But is something of value being lost? Joining us to discuss is WSJ's work family columnist Sue Shellenbarger. Hi, Sue. Great to see you. So does the landline need a lifeline? I mean, should we worry what happens when children are not answering a family phone?
Well, we all welcome the convenience of the cell phone, but the communal tool of the landline, which the family used to share, was a way that a lot of kids actually picked up conversational skills. They learned to answer the phone politely, make small talk with adults who called for their parents, and then they heard parents talking on the phone and kind of picked up on the rhythms of everyday conversation.
And the cues, for sure. Are they not learning how to talk to adult strangers politely in other venues? Not really, right? I mean, other than their teachers at school and their parents and their aunts and uncles, family members, who else are they really talking to?
Well, some kids are actually developing a kind of phone phobia, according to Sherry Turkle, as an author on Reclaiming Conversation. I think that the parents are realizing that their kids really don't know how to carry on a telephone conversation. And some of them are actually coaching them to do so, standing nearby and telling them to say thank you or tell them about your soccer game last week. Kids just don't really like to talk on the phone as much as they used to.
Now, what about learning, which you put, I find this so important, you put it in your piece, the nurturing work of adulthood, overhearing all the ways that adults take care of parents and loved ones by making doctor's appointments, various things that children hear parents doing on the phone, but don't see it when it's done invisibly by typing on a keyboard, correct?
Right, we're emailing or texting to make all these arrangements, including care for the kids themselves. And this is the way that children learn about how they care for loved ones. Again, Dr. Turkle at MIT has found this is to be true. And I think that parents don't realize that all of these arrangements are made invisibly. The children don't pick it up. And some of the parents I spoke with said that they actually made a point of calling grandma on Sunday night at a time when the kids were all present and getting them involved in the conversation.
That's so good. That's so important. Actually, that one really made me think. Now, should parents of teens also worry about the monitoring that is lost? When every teen has his or her smartphone, there's almost no way to learn who they're talking to and when, correct?
It's almost flipped to the opposite of the landline, when you pretty much had a good idea of who your kid was talking to and for how long. Parents told me this really bothers them. They don't know who could be calling their teen, or actually mostly texting and emailing. They can't see what goes on. Some of them do monitor pretty closely, taking the phone and looking at it, looking at the records. But others prefer to try to find other ways to kind of keep an eye on what their children are doing. They're trying to make more small talk with their kids. They're trying to invite the friends over to the house. It is a challenge for parents.
Now, what about the practical benefits that a landline has in an emergency? Does that have to do with the fact that the phone is listed, so there's an address attached to it?
That's right. That's one of the reasons that some families are keeping them. And then, of course, if you have a corded phone that's locked directly into the phone system, it also stays alive during power outages, which is a big deal during some of the big storms we've been having.
Absolutely. So, Sue, do you have a landline?
I do, and actually mine is for the faithfulness of the signal. I have to be able to be on the phone, and so I do keep a landline.
That's true. That's a good point. I have to admit that we do not. We haven't had one for years, but now I'm thinking twice about that choice after your story.
Right.
Thank you so much for that, Sue Shellenbarger.
Thanks, Tanya.